beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback. I'm just concentrating on not leaving the rod over the side. And its eyes. It's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel. And welcome to Chesil Beach for what is the 100th show for the channel. So we've got something very special planned. There's all sorts going on. Busy beavering away. It's really windy, so the camera angles and filming are going to be difficult for this one, but we're going to persevere because we're on the big beach. We're on the big beach where it all started 2 years ago. 2 years ago, almost to the day. First video, chucks it out. My brother and myself come down here to try and catch a cod, try and catch it on film. We both caught cod and we caught it on film. And from then on, I was hooked. I just loved doing the filming. I love my fishing anyway, but I love doing the filming. So in the background, we've got 3 other anglers. We've got Ian Clarke, Chris and John. They've travelled down from North Somerset. I've come along the coast from Southampton down to the Fleet end of Chesil Beach. No distinguishing features, no distinguishing marks. I can't give you the exact specific because what you can see behind me looks exactly the same that way. And we did the shingle trudge. It was hard work. I'm checking my rods because I have got 2 rods out. And what are we fishing for? Well, anything. If I was to name one species that I'd love to see today, I'd love to see a Gurnard. I haven't caught a Gurnard from the shore. I'd love to catch a Gurnard. One of those really pretty red ones with the blue eyes and the little blue tints along the fins and all that. I'd love to catch a Gurnard. But it's really windy. It's forecast 24-mile-an-hour winds all night. The shelter has actually got the back of it to the sea and facing the shingle. I'll show you what I've done later, but that's the only way the shelter will work in these conditions. 2 rods out. 1 rod has got the short pulley rig with the 1-inch like bolt section that will slide through, and there'll be a making of that above me now. And the other rig is just a 2-hook flapper, but they've got circle hooks on, and I've just put really little tiny strips of squid, just prospecting to see if there's anything else out there. So the rods are out, the gear's set. I've got my little bag of food because we're here for 24 hours. We're not leaving till tomorrow lunchtime. Yes, it was a 24-hour fish. I've got 3 pound of squid, 2 pound of blow lug, black lug, sand eels and mackerel. Can't say I'm not trying. Probably got 6 different kinds of rigs, depending on how I'm going to present those baits. And I've got 5 and 6 ounce weights. I'm starting to wonder if I should have bought some 7s because it is heave-hoing a bit out there at the moment. Yeah, so we've got bait, we've got rigs, we've got rods, we've got friends. We're on the beach, we're fishing. Looking forward to it. Really, really excited about this one. I don't know what we're going to catch, don't care. I'm not specifically targeting anything. Anything will be welcome. It's just nice. A whole day, night, day on the beach. That didn't take long. Steady up, steady up, steady up, steady up. Look at that for a stunning bream. First fish of the day. He's really silver. And he absolutely smashed a little strip of mackerel. And that was on that really short bolt rig. Look, I haven't even unhooked him yet. Let's get him unhooked. Right, bud, because we're going to put you back. There he is, unhooked. What a stunner. I like piranhas, I love them. Right, I'm going to go and get this little critter back. That bream was caught on a very, very short pulley rig. And when I say short, that's the piece that goes to the rod tip or to your shock leader. Try and stay out of the wind as best I can so you can hear me. I can never clip these things up, can I, when I'm trying to show them on camera. That is it. That is how short it is. What's that? 16 inches? Something like that. And then the trick to this, and Dave showed me this, Dave Knight, the guy that services my reels, does a very good job of it too, is this piece with the stop knot, piece of silicone on it. So when it hits the water and it releases, it fishes almost like an old-fashioned paternoster, look. So it's very short, flows around, and in these conditions where it's very rough and it's the sea's in a tumultuous state, let's say, if a fish takes it, it only has to go that far and it hooks itself. It's sort of got enough that it can take, albeit with a 6-ounce lead. It's probably not the best size weight for this rig, but that's what I'm needing to hold bottom. And the tide's just going to start running in a minute. And the next, might have a bite. So I've already had one bream. Ian's had a bream. I think John's just had a bream. And Chris had a knock that looked very breamy. So there's definitely bream out there. We don't want too many of those. Yeah, so that's it. That's the rig I'm using. So I'm going to bait it up. And to bait it up, I'm just going to use my little chopping board, get a knife. I'm going to cut a slither of mackerel. I know you can't see this, but I'm going to show you it. When you cut a chunk from the flank of the mackerel, so you end up with that, you know, like the side of the mackerel, not lengthways, across the body. So you can see where I've taken 2 out previously, like that. And then I actually get rid of a little bit of the flesh because there's too much flesh there, and it sort of hinders the hook presentation. And you end up like that. So you got the blue shiny bit. I think that the attractant is the white bit. It looks like a bait fish. And this time of year, summertime, there are a lot of bait fish around. And to dress it onto the hook, it is pretty simple. I put it on twice. I put it through the skin side first, at the blue end. Back out the thickness, width of the hook, and leave a tail. So there is a lot of hook shank still showing, and there is a lot of the white as almost like a bait fish look. That's my best description of it. That's what I'm trying to emulate. That's where we're going with this, because I think that's what they're all feeding on. Very windy. I'm trying to stay out of the wind for you. That's quite a long one, that one. No, courage in my convictions. I'll stick to it. It's just caught one fish. I'll go again and give it a wrap. Just stop it sliding down the hook more than anything. Bunches it up, and then that almost makes it look like a head. That's in my mind when I'm looking at this. I'm almost elasticating a little head at the end of that mackerel strip, so it looks like a bait fish, and everything out there wants to eat bait fish. And you end up with that. Lots of hook showing, a little flippy floppy tail acting as a lure. And then we'll clip it up. I'm just going to hang that on the tripod because I'm going to bait up soon. If I wasn't going to use it soon, rather than the wind drying it out, then I'd leave it here with the bait bucket. But I am going to chuck it out in a minute. So it looks like we're into bream at the moment. We don't want bream all night. Want something different, a good old show. You know what we're talking about. But yeah, a Gurnard would be nice. I'd love a Gurnard. And see what other critters we can lure in. But that's what's going out. I'm going to go and get this one fired out. I've changed camera positions so you can see the sort of setup I've had to use. The wind is about 24 miles an hour and it's coming direct off the sea onto the beach. So I've actually put the back of the shelter facing the sea, and I'm using it as a windbreak so I can sit here and tuck behind. I can see my rod tips. Oh, left rod just slacked off a bit, pulsing a bit. That might be just getting caught up in the shingle, I think, by the looks of it. Yeah, but you can see I've had to set up this way because it's pretty difficult conditions, but the sea is it's looking really good. It's looking really good. It's having a big old stir up. It's still very, very warm. I've only got my hoodie on because of the wind. If the wind dropped down, which it's not gonna, it would be very mild. In fact, it is mild. But interesting fishing, because it's always about, it's not just about the wind, the tide, the bait, the rigs. It's how you configure yourself on the beach, how you fish your rods. Do you have them high? Do you have them low? Where do you position your shelter? There's lots of things, there's loads of variables. I think that's what's quite, keeps you entertained, keeps you coming back, because no two sessions are the same. You don't just put two rods facing the sea, chuck them out and sit behind them. So that's what John's managed to catch. He's managed to catch himself some fishing gear. Because it's the start of the run of the tide, I can't resist it. So I've just pulled out one of the rigs that's got bigger hooks in it. And just because it's that much of a mess, I've got a mackerel head. For no other reason than why not, you know? Let's get it out there. It looks surfy, or it is surfy. It looks bassy. Oh, it looks perfect. If you used to explain the conditions and go, right, what we doing? You go, stick something out for a bass. Definitely. And this is just a huge, great big, oily, bloody mess. Just gonna get this hook in. I'm pulling faces. I know, I always do. You know I do. That's what's going out. I can't resist it. Get it out there. See what you can get. Right. So I need to keep a close eye on this rod, I think, because anything happens with this rod, I'm not going to pump it out very far either. It's going to be fairly close. As in, I'm not going to try and shove it right out there. Just going to give it a bit of a lob. A lazy lob. There's the other guys. Ian, Chris and John all hunkered down. And the spray coming off the sea feels like rain at the moment. So even when it's not raining, we're getting wet. But it's getting interesting. The light's just starting to fail. We're at sunset now. I've been changing rigs, changing baits. Fishing hasn't been that easy up till now. But I've got one rig, which is the Up and Over rig, which was developed on the channel and filmed on the channel, and that'll be linked above me right now. I'm keeping an eye on my rods. I've got lighting on because it's that dark now that we need it for filming. I'm just about to sort out my head torch, and the other rig, which is catching the bream at the moment, and I've had a few bream, is a 3-hook flapper, clip down. As simple as that. Size 4 hooks, little slivers of squid. But I'm in the process now of prepping my next rigs, my next baits, and I'm going to swap over to bigger baits and sturdier rigs. I'm not going to fish a scratching rig all night. I'm here for bigger fish, not smaller fish. So we've had bream. All of us have had bream. Starting to see some lights further along the beach, so there's more people fishing here now. I think people are moving in as darkness falls. The fish have come alive and start to come on the feed, and we're approximately hour and a half, 2 hours away from high water. I don't know if you can hear in the background with the sound of the surf, but it's quite a night tonight. Horizontal rain, so believe it or not, I'm looking into my shelter. My shelter is in front of me in the beach, so that the wind is coming directly onto the shore, and the spray from the surf is making it like horizontal rain. So I'm literally hiding behind my shelter. Still windy, 23, 24 mile an hour winds. I've just had a quick chat with Ian Clarke. It's gone quiet. As soon as the lights went out, we thought it'd be all guns blazing, you know, fish, 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 fish. And apart from the bream during the daylight hours, it's gone really quiet. So I'm trying all sorts of variations of bait. I've got a big squid and black lug bait out. I've got a big juicy squid bait ready to go out. Blow lug, I've loaded up with about 7 or 8 blow lug tipped with squid. That's gone out. Triple sand eel torpedoes, they've gone out. And the common factor in all of that is it's just getting washed. I'm just washing bait. There's no fish. I can see lights further on. It's obviously head torches now. So there's lights further on. There's the 3 guys that are fishing to my right, and I can see some head torches that way. I hope other people are having more joy than me at the moment. This is getting a little bit frustrating, to be honest. Persevering though, beavering away. I've got all my waterproof gear on. It's not raining. It's all the spray from the surf. Got me coffee. I've got some food. Gonna have a little picnic in a minute. I've got my bucket for my water so I can wash my hands and put my fish in. I can't get any water because the surf's too big. I can't get anywhere near the water's edge. It'd be too dangerous. So I'm going to have my picnic in a minute with fishy fingers. I was picking out my crisps in the supermarket. So I got one of these meal deal things where you get sandwich and crisps and stuff. And I thought, oh, shall I get that flavour? Oh, shall I get that flavour? Oh, prawn cocktail. It won't matter. I've got prawn cocktail crisps. Yeah. So, what time is it? What time? 10:15. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so 10:30 tomorrow is the next high tide. So during, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be low. I'm hoping that might fish well, because that's usually when the bass, all the bass I've ever had off Chesil have been on the low. And other than that, it's perseverance. Just keep soaking the baits, soaking the baits, soaking the baits. Refresh, chuck, soak the baits. See what we can get. You know I'm going to show you if I do get anything. People tell me they watch even if I blank. Well, I haven't blanked because I've had a couple of bring. But this isn't fishing like I'd expect Chesil to fish. It is the beach of broken dreams. But amazing things can happen. Welcome back to a cold and blustery dawn, and with the dawn, I'm just going to try and put him on there nicely. Look at this, my little target species, a gurnard. I wanted a gurnard for the channel. Ooh, easy boy. He's only small, but he's a gurnard. Absolutely chuffed to bits. Look at that. Put him up to the camera so you can see. He's got amazing colours. Look. And his eyes. He's grunting away, making all sorts of noises. He's got beautiful eyes. Look. A little gurnard. I don't know what kind of gurnard that is. I know there are different kinds of gurnard. Got to be careful of those spikes on top. He's stunning. He's got little feelers. I don't want to keep him out because it's windy. He's going to dry out, so I'm going to get him back in the water. But yeah, little gurnard. I'm going to get him back in before he dries out. Don't want to dry out. Well, welcome back to my humble abode on Chesil Beach. What a night! It was really stormy. Today's a lot calmer than what it was last night. And surprisingly, we thought that the stormy weather would stir everything up, and this morning would be coloured, and it would be like the squid and the black lug and go for a cod or a codlin. But the water's gin clear, and it's been blowing a hoolie all night. We've caught loads of fish. Hard to film. The horizontal spray all last night, the camera was dripping wet, soaking wet, and it's not a waterproof camera. Between us, 4 anglers, we've had smooth hound, strap, bass. There's a few small bass between us, bream, pouting, and the gurnard. Can't forget, I'm chuffed to bits that little gurnard. So I've had bream and gurnard. I haven't put all the bream on camera because some of them I've released at the water's edge. At the moment I'm fishing one scratching rig with a clip down 3 hook, size 4 hooks, tiny little bits of mackerel on the end, and I'm fishing a mackerel head close in because at first light I thought there was a chance of a bass. I'm just about to change that. I'm just about to change that bait on the bigger rod, on the bigger rig, sorry, for squid and black lug. So I'm going to sort that out. I'm trying to decide which rig I'm going to use. So all through the night I've been using the short pulley rig. Short pulley rig is a nice tidy rig. Comes back every time 100%, no tangles. I think down to the shortness of it. And I did have a bream on it, which was surprising. Did surprise me actually. They usually will only take the smaller hooks. So that is the short pulley rig. Just put that to one side. I've also been fishing the standard, and you can see by the size of the bait that's been in the water and it's been washed around like a washing machine. The up and over, and we put the link up earlier for that. But that's fished well. I've had no problems with it. I've got no concerns. Very, very rarely, unless it gets caught in the undertow close in, and I think it's getting tangled on the way in, not when it's fishing. So that's the up and over rig. The 3 hook clip is out there at the moment. And what have I got here? I've got another one of those short pulley rigs that I had baited, and that shows how quiet it was last night. That was out for about 20-25 minutes, and even the tail of the bait untouched. Nothing touched it at all. Which was really bizarre. I thought it was going to fish its socks off last night, and it absolutely, totally didn't. But that's what it's called, fishing and not catching. And that's not quite true, is it? Because we all caught last night. All 4 of us have caught fish, just not anything significant in size. Well, the sun is actually out, but it's still a bit windy. The swells and the surf's calmed down. It hasn't coloured the water at all. It's still absolutely gin clear, which that surprises me, that does really, considering the amount of wind and the amount of surf there was last night. But that's the full cycle of the tide. We're near in high water. The other guys have all dropped down to 1 rod, myself included. I've got loads of tidying up to do. I've gone through rigs, really tried to work this out today, and it just hasn't happened. So I've had bream, plenty of bream, and that really pretty little Gurnard. I was chuffed to bits for that. Called it right at the beginning, and even towards the end of the session I thought, oh, I'm not going to get my Gurnard. And there he was, croaking away. Chuffed to bits for that one. But did we get anything else? Well, everything's small. Literally everything's small. Small straps, small hounds, pouting, bream, even the Gurnard was small. The bass, they've all been small. And it's been hard work. Tried every rig I brought with me. I've tried every variation of bait. But yeah, still enjoyable. Time on the beach with fellow anglers and friends. Ian, Chris and John. It's been a pleasure. Nice to get back out on the big beach. COVID, lack of travel. I know we're outside that now, but then life's busy. So yeah, nice to get back on the big beach. I need to come down here a bit more regularly now, I think. Fish the autumn, winter, and chase that elusive unicorn, that Chesil cod. See if we can get one of those on the channel. Altogether, thoroughly enjoyable, a little disappointing, but still, fishing is fishing. Take care, tight lines, happy fishing. From me, from here, for now, it's goodbye. I hope to see you sometime again soon, and 100 films. This is the 100th film for the channel. That in itself, almost, don't know where that's come from, to be honest. Never had the intention of making 100 films. Happy days. I'll see you soon. Take care.